Hi students, today we will start with a new topic, that is cubes and dices. So what are basically cubes and what are basically dice? So this first picture, what you can see, that is called as a cube. And in the second picture, what you can see, it's called as a dice. Okay, so cube is what? Cube is basically, it is a solid three-dimensional figure which has 6 square faces, 8 vertices and 12 edges. Okay, so 6 square faces they have said. Why square faces they have said? Because if you can see a cube which is present in the first picture, okay, so the face of a cube is in the shape of a square. So that's why they have said 6 square edges. Okay, and all that square, not square edges, sorry, square faces. Okay, so all that square faces are identical also. Hmm? So before that, please do subscribe to my channel, like my channel, and do share my channel. So we will start with cube and dices. So first we will start from the basics and then we'll go to the questions. So I had shown you two pictures, right? One was cube and second one was dice. So I told you cube is a three-dimensional figure which has 6 square faces, 8 vertices and 12 edges. Correct? Then what is a dice then? Have you all seen dice? I think so all of you have seen dice while playing Ludo, while playing Snake and Ladders, correct? So, dice is also a form of a cube. It is also a cube. It is an example of a cube, correct? Then what is the difference between cube and dice? Nothing but on cube you don't have numbers on it. But on a playing dice, you can see the numbers, right? From 1 to 6. You have played Ludo, right? You have played while playing Snake and Ladders, you make use of a dice, correct? So on that dice, you have seen numbered from 1 to 6, correct? Minimum number there is 1, maximum number there is 6. Correct? So that is the difference between cube and dice. That's all. Okay. On dice, you have some numbers present on it. Okay. So a traditional playing dice is a cube because its 6 faces are identical squares. It has 12 edges and 8 corners. Same characteristics as that of a cube. Okay. So you can see a figure, right? So here there are 6 faces, 12 edges. Edges are also called as sides and vertices are also called as corners. So you have 6 faces. Face means this. This is one face. Behind will be second, third, fourth, fifth and bottom one will be 6. So there are 6 faces of a cube or of a dice. Okay. Then 12 edges or sides are there. Correct? So edges means what or sides means what? So these are called as edges. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 and 12. So there are 12 edges or sides. in a cube or in a dice. Next one, you have corners or vertices, which are 8. So which are those? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. So these are corners or vertices. Understanding? So this is the basic that you must know. And in school, from school actually, you have learned this all. So these are basics. Okay. Okay. So now we will start with the basics which will help us in solving the questions which appears in our competitive exams. So open dice. So you will have two types here. Okay, one is open dice. Okay, whenever a dice is opened and they will ask there what is the opposite of that, what is the opposite of this. So mainly they will ask the opposite in the, please note it down, in the open dice. Okay, opposite they will ask. Okay, so when we will solve the questions it will be clear for you all. Now here, in order to solve the problems on open dice, you need to know some of the things. Okay, so remember this word jump. Remember this word jump. Okay, why I'm telling you that? Because they will give you something like this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So in a dice we have number from 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Okay. So that only when a dice is opened, they have figured like this. Okay. So they will ask opposite here. What is the opposite of 2? What is the opposite of 4? Like that they can ask. Okay. So how to solve those? See, you need to remember the word that is jump. Why jump? I'm telling you. See, whenever they say, what is the opposite of 2? What is the opposite of 3? Or what is the opposite of 1? Okay, so they will ask what opposite. This is vice versa. So I am drawing the arrows in both the sides. So they will ask the opposite. So first tell me what is the opposite of 2? They will say. So you need to jump. Okay, jump and reach till 4. That is the opposite of 2. Skip one block and jump. Okay, so that becomes the opposite. That's it. So opposite of 2 will be what? 4. Then opposite of 3 will be what? Jump from here from 3, leaving one block. So opposite of 3 will be 5. Okay. And then what is remaining will be the opposite of that. So what is remaining? 1 and 6 are remaining. So they will become the opposite of each other. Okay. So opposite of 3 is 5. Opposite of 1 will be 6. So whatever outer is this, outer open dice numbers are present on it, that becomes the opposite actually. Okay. So this is one type. Now next type can be, remember the word jump, you need to jump, that's it. Jump from the block, whatever they have asked, leave one block and reach the next one. So that's why you need to remember jump. Okay. So one more I will show you. If they give like this, 1, 2, 3, then if they give like this, 4, 5, and 6. And they will say, what is the opposite of 1? What is the opposite of 2? And what is the opposite of 4? What is the opposite? Tell me. You need to just jump. Or in Hindi, if I want to tell, you need to just छलांग मारना है. ओके, छलांग मार के पहुंच जाना है. तो एक का ऑपोजिट क्या होगा? अगर मैं छलांग मारूं या जंप मारूं तो एक का ऑपोजिट क्या होगा? एक का ऑपोजिट 3 होगा. So one opposite will be 3. Two opposite will be what? Two opposite will be 5. You need to just jump. Okay. And 4 opposite will be 6. Okay. So 2 opposite will be 5. 4 opposite will be 6. That's it. So easy it is. You need to just remember the word jump. I want to jump. That's it. Okay. Next one. If you want to note down, please take a note down of this. Okay, students. Okay, now tell me, what is the opposite of 1? What is the opposite of 3? What is the opposite of 2? What is the opposite of 1? You need to just jump. Okay? Skip one block and jump. So opposite of 1 will be 5. Then next one, opposite of 3 is what? Opposite of 3 is 6. Opposite of 2 is what? Here is 2, correct? And here is 4. So you need to just jump. So opposite of 2 will be what? 4. And even if they ask what is the opposite of 5? It will be 1, right? What is the opposite of 6? It will be 3. What is the opposite of 4? It will be 2. So it is vice versa also. Remember that. Okay, students? Understood? So this is the open dice. Okay. Second type is closed dice. Just now we saw open dice, correct? And I have showed you the examples where you need to just jump. Okay. And you will get the opposites. Now second type is closed dice. And in closed dice, you can see the examples of closed dice. This is a closed dice, correct? And if it is open, when a dice is opened or when a cube is opened, it becomes open dice or open cube, correct? So whenever you see this type as shown in the figure, it's called as closed dice, okay? So in closed dice, we have two types. One is standard dice and second one is ordinary dice. So standard dice questions are not asked on standard dice, but usually the questions are asked on the ordinary dice in the exams. Okay. So standard dice. What is a standard dice? Standard dice is a dice where sum of number on opposite faces is always 7. Understanding that is called as a standard dice. Standard dice means number on the opposite faces. Okay. Number on the opposite faces means this is a standard dice, right? So One opposite is 6 here, two opposite is 5, and three opposite is 4 here. Okay? One opposite is 6, two opposite is 5, and three opposite is 4 here. So what they have said is the sum, okay, the sum of number on opposite faces is always 7, then only it is called as a standard dice. See, opposite of 1 is 6, and when you add 1 plus 6, it will give you 7 as the answer. 2 opposite is 5, when you add it, it gives you 7 as answer. 3 opposite is 4, when you add it gives 7 as the answer. Correct? So when you get the sum of number on opposite faces has 7, it is called as a standard dice. Okay? Now, as shown in the picture, this is an example of a standard dice. Okay? Because when the sum of the number on the opposite faces are added, the result will be 7. So that's why it is called as a standard dice. Okay? But usually the questions are asked on the ordinary dice. Okay, so ordinary dice is just opposite of standard dice. Ordinary dice means where the sum of number on opposite faces will not be 7. The result here will not be 7. Okay, it will not be 7. So then it's an ordinary dice. Okay, then main important thing that you need to remember is that this is very important. Adjacent face of a dice can never be opposite. So in the questions they will ask opposite to find out the opposite. Okay. So what is the opposite to 1 here? They can ask. What is the opposite of 3? They can ask. Okay. So this is very important that adjacent faces which are there of a dice, they can never be opposite. Mark this as very, very important. Fix this sentence in your mind or note it down, take a screenshot because it's very important. Adjacent face of a dice can never be opposite. Now, adjacent face meaning what? 1 and 3. Okay. These are called as the adjacent faces of a dice. 1 and 6. They are called as adjacent faces of a dice. So they can never be opposite. Okay. Opposite of 1 can never be 3. Opposite of 1 can never be 6 because they are adjacent numbers on a dice. And adjacent faces, or you can say adjacent numbers on a dice, can never be opposite to each other. This is very important. Please take a note down of this. So in ordinary dice, I told you just now that on standard dice, the questions are not asked basically, but on the ordinary dice, the questions are asked. Correct? So here, in ordinary dice, two things you need to remember again. First one, when one face is common of a dice, one face or when one number is common, okay, in a dice or of a dice. So here two dice will be given or three dice can be given, four dice can be given. So comparison of dice they ask, and they will ask the opposite number they will ask. Okay, so one first one is that when one face is common in a dice. So in both the dice, which number you can see has common, which number is common? Which number is common in both the dice? Please see. So 2 is common, correct? You can see 2 as common. So when one face or one number you can see is common in a dice, first you need to find out the common face. First, you need to find out the common face or number on a dice. Second thing, go in go in clockwise direction. Go in clockwise direction. Okay, basically they will ask you the opposite. Okay, so here they will ask the opposite. So they will say find the opposite of 5, suppose. Then what will be the answer? Opposite of 5. So in this type of question, you need to first find out the common phase or number on a dice. So common phase or number on a dice is 2. Correct? Second thing, go in clockwise direction. So when you go clockwise direction from 2, you will get 1. Then again from 1, you will go in clockwise direction, you will get 3. So write down here 2. So common phase of both the dice you write down here. 2 is common in first dice, second dice also 2 you will write. Then from 2 I went to 1 in clockwise direction. Then from 1 to 3 I went. Second dice I'll do same thing. From 2 I will go to 6. Then from 6 I will go to 4. Okay. So I want the opposite of 5, correct? Now, whatever horizontal, okay? Sorry, whatever vertical pairs you're seeing, right? Now 1 and 6 is there. So opposite of 1 will be 6. Opposite of 3 will be 4. Okay, so whatever vertical you can see the numbers, they become the opposite of each other. Okay, so opposite of 1 will be 6, opposite of 3 will be 4. Then what is the opposite of 5 then? So which number is left? Which number is left then? 2 is left, correct? So opposite of 5 will be 2. Understanding? Because in a dice, you have only 6 numbers 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6, correct? So 1 का opposite क्या हो गया? 6 हो गया. तो eliminate कर दो. 3 का opposite क्या हो गया? 4 हो गया. तो बचा क्या? Opposite का 5 चाहिए ना हमको. तो opposite का 5 क्या हुआ? 2. Correct? Second type in a ordinary dice is when two faces are common in a dice. Okay, when two faces are common in a dice, two faces, okay, are common in a dice, then how to find out the opposite pairs you can say. Okay, how to find out the opposite then. So what two faces are common in a dice here in this example? If you carefully check 1 and 3. 1 and 3. So here two faces are common in a dice. So now whatever number is left, what numbers are left here in a dice? 2 and 6 are left. 2 is left, 6 is left. So whatever number are left, whatever numbers are left, that becomes the opposite pairs. So what is left here after finding out the common numbers or common faces in a dice? What is left? 2 and 6 are left. So 2 opposite will be 6. 6 opposite will be 2. So they become the opposite pairs. Okay. Now in this, if they ask what is the opposite of 1 or what is the opposite of 3, then here you can't determine because what numbers are left here? 4 and 5 are left, correct? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 2 and 6 are already opposite pairs. So what is common is 1 and 3 are common here in a dice. So I wrote 1 and 3 here. So what numbers are left now? 4 and 5 are left, correct? So 1 का opposite 4 भी हो सकता है, 1 का opposite 5 भी हो सकता है. Similarly, for 3 also, 3 opposite can be 4 or 3 opposite can be 5. Okay, so we can't say correctly that 1 का opposite 4 है या 1 का opposite 5 है. So there is not surety. 1 का opposite 4 भी हो सकता है या 5 भी हो सकता है. Okay. The first question on your screen and your timer starts now. Try to solve it. Okay, time up. So here the question says if the given dice is a standard dice, then what will be the phase opposite to 4? So as I told you, the questions are basically not on standard dice. But what if the question appears in the exam? Then how you will solve this? So if the given dice is a standard dice, okay? Only if they mention in the question that it is a standard dice, then you know what is a standard dice. It is a dice where the sum number on opposite faces should be 7. Result should be 7. Correct? The opposite numbers, whatever are present on a dice, the sum of that is 7, then it is called as a standard dice. Correct? So, they have said what is the phase opposite to 4. So, we need to find out the opposite to 4. Correct? So, how to find out this? So, what I told you, here the sum should be what? 7. Of opposite numbers, the sum should be 7. So, when I do 7 minus 4, okay, what will come? 3, correct? So 4 plus 3 when I do, I'll get 7 as the answer. Then it becomes a standard dice because sum of 4 plus 3 opposite numbers is 7, correct? So opposite to 4 will be what? 3, right now. Next one, and your timer starts now. Time up. If the given dice is a standard dice, then what will be the phase opposite to 2? So opposite to 2 is asked. Opposite to 2. So sum of a standard dice is 7. 7 minus 2, it will give me 5. Okay, so 2 plus 5 will give me 7. So what is the opposite of 2? It will be 5. Correct? So answer is B, that is 5. Hope you understood this. Third question on your screen and your timer starts now. So this is the question based on a open cube. As you can see in the picture, the cube or the dice, if you say, it is opened, correct? Time up. So here, mainly, basically, they will ask all the questions on opposite only, okay? So, but they will directly not ask what is the phase opposite to 4 or they will not directly ask what is the find out the face opposite to 5, even in a open die or in a closed die. They can twist the question and ask, but their meaning will be only to find out the opposite. Okay, but you should read the question also very carefully. How many dots lie opposite to the face having 5 dots when the given figure is folded to form a cube? So what they have said, opposite to the face having 5 dots. 5 dots. So where are 5 dots? Here. So what is the opposite of 5 dots? Just now I have showed all the examples of the open cube, or sorry, open dice. Correct? Same thing it is. So if they ask opposite of 1, suppose, then you need to just jump. So opposite of 1 will be 4. Opposite of 2 will be what? 6. Correct? So what is left? Opposite of 5 will be what? 3. Correct? So correct answer is 3. Next, fourth question on your screen, and your timer starts now. This is also a question based on the open dice or open cube, you can say. Time up. So what the question says, from the given options, which figure can be formed by folding the figure given in the question? This is the question given to you. This is the question, and these are the answer figures given to you. Again, how to find out the answer here? Simple. Just use the logic of jump. So from A, I will jump to D, B, I will jump to E, and N, I'll jump to O. So they become the opposite pairs. This you know. But one more point I had told you. Remember that very important point. Then adjacent face of a dice can never be opposite. Adjacent face of a dice can never be opposite. Okay. So, so here, which one is the correct one, do you think? Which one is the correct one? See, these are the opposite pairs, right? A, D, B, E. So they should not be adjacent to each other because they are opposite pairs, and opposite pairs can never be adjacent to each other. Correct? So A and D, so they are adjacent to each other here in the first figure. So this cannot be the answer. Then in B option you see A is not adjacent to D or B is not adjacent to E. So this is the correct one. Here also if you see in C option, N का opposite क्या है? O, correct? But they cannot be adjacent to each other because they are opposite pairs. So N and O are adjacent here. So this is also wrong. Again here you can see adjacent pairs A and D because they are opposite pairs. They cannot be adjacent in a dice. So D is also wrong. So correct option is B. Okay. Next one on your screen, and your timer starts now. Time up. Fifth question. An unfolded box has shown in the figure. When sheet is folded to form a box, find the number on the face opposite to 6. Opposite to 6 they have asked, correct? So 6 is here. So how to find out the opposite? Jump. I'll jump to 4, correct? So correct answer will be what? 4. Simple, correct? Sixth question on your screen, and your timer starts now. Which of the following cube in the answer figure cannot be made based on the unfolded cube in the given figure? So what they have said, which cannot be made, which cannot be made. So what do you think? They have only twisted the question. Here, the point that the adjacent face can never be opposite, that you need to remember. That's it. So opposite pairs are what? Opposite of this 5 dot is what? Jump. So you'll get this. Opposite of this x will be this one, and opposite of this will be this one. Correct? So wherever the opposite pairs are there, correct? Whatever we found out now, that should not be adjacent to each other. Correct? So if it is adjacent, that will be our answer. Because they have said which of the following cube in the answer figure cannot be made. Cannot be made. So if you see this X and if you see this hexagon. So if you see in the figure B, they are adjacent to each other. They are opposite pairs, but they should not be adjacent, correct? They are adjacent. And in the question they have said, which cannot be made based on the unfolded cube. Cannot be made. So correct answer will be B. Okay. Seventh one on your screen and your timer starts now. Time up. So what does the question says? Two different positions of the same dice are shown, the 6 faces of which are numbered from 1 to 6. Select the number that will be on the face opposite to the one showing 1. So now we have completed 6 questions, right? So in that 6 questions, we saw 2 questions on the standard dice, correct? And rest we saw on open dice. Now we will see the questions based on the closed dice. So closed dice, basically standard dice, we had just solved 2 questions. Now rest will be on the ordinary dice. Okay, ordinary dice, 2 things we had seen just now. When one face is common and when 2 faces are common. Okay, so here first you need to check how many faces are common. So how many faces are common here? So if you carefully see 2, 3, 2, 3. So there are 2 faces common here. So when 2 faces are common on a dice, then whatever numbers are left, that becomes the opposite. And what they have asked, the face opposite to the one showing 1, correct? So 1 का opposite find out करना है. So 1 का opposite क्या होगा? 4 होगा, because they are the leftover numbers, correct? In these 2 dices, 2 faces are common. So what are left? 1 is left, 4 is left. So 1 का opposite क्या होगा? 4. So answer is A option, that is 4. Okay. 8th question on your screen and your timer starts now. Time up. Two different positions of the same dice are shown. Which number will be at the top if 6 is at the bottom? Same thing, but they have twisted the question here. That's it. They have basically asked what is the opposite of 6. 6 is at the bottom, suppose. Then what is at the top? Correct? So basically they have asked what is the opposite of 6. So here, see, first thing you need to see how many faces are common in both the dices. So one face is common, that is 3. Correct? 3 is common. So when only one face on a dice is common, what I told you, go in the clockwise direction. Correct? So here write the common faces is 3 in both the dice. So in first dice, when you go from clockwise, you'll get 2. Then from 2, you'll get 4. So write down here. And here in the second dice, from 3, when you go to 3, when you go in clockwise direction, you get 6. Then 6, 2, 1. 6 and 1 you will write. So what is the opposite they have asked? 6 opposite they have asked. So what is the opposite of 6? 2. Correct? So 2 is the answer. Ninth question on your screen and your timer starts now. Two different positions of the same dice are shown, the 6 faces of which are marked with the letters U to Z. Select the letter that will be on the face opposite the face showing W. So what is the opposite of W? You need to find out. See, whatever they can give anything, okay? Not only numbers on a dice, they can give even letters on a dice, or they may give symbols on a dice. Okay, whatever they give, the logic remains the same. Okay, so opposite of W they have asked here. Okay, so how many faces are common in a dice here? How many faces are common? Vx is common here, correct? V and X. So two faces are common in a dice. So when two faces are common in a dice, whatever leftover letters are there, they become the opposite pairs. So W का opposite क्या हो गया? Y. So W opposite is what? They have asked what is the opposite of W. So W का opposite is Y. Okay. 10th question on your screen and your timer starts now. Time up. So here what the question says, 6 letters M, N, O, P, Q and R are written on different faces of a dice. Two positions of this dice shown in the figure. Find the letter on the face opposite to a vowel. So they have said opposite we need to find of a vowel. So vowel are what? A, E, I, O, U. So these are the vowels. Correct? We need a face which is opposite to a vowel. So A, E, I, O, U. So you can see A in the both the dices? No. Which letter you can see of a vowel on a dice? O. So we need to find out the opposite of O. Because O vowel is only present on both the dices. Correct? So we need to find out the face opposite to a vowel. That vowel is O. So how many faces are common in a dice now? Which face is common in a dice? Q. Only one face is common, correct? So first you write down the faces and then you will go in the clockwise direction. So Q come clockwise, it is R. Then again you'll go clockwise, it will be M. Then here is Q. From Q you'll go in clockwise, you'll get O. And then again you'll go clockwise, you'll get N. So what we want the face opposite to O because it is a vowel present here. So what is opposite of O? R. Correct? So R is the correct option. 11th one, and your timer starts now. Time up. So here, if you carefully read the question, two different positions of the same dice are shown, the six faces of which are numbered from 1 to 6. Mark this as very important, students. What will be the sum of the expected number? So here they have asked the sum of the expected number on the face opposite to the showing 1. Okay, so what is the opposite of 1? They have not asked, but they have asked what is the sum of. Okay, so you need to find sum. So how many common faces are there in both the dices? Here if you see, two faces are common, that is 5 and 1. So rest will be 4 and 3. So 4 and 3. Correct? So now we want to find out the opposite of 1. So what numbers are left? 1, 5, 4, 3 is already is there. So what numbers are left? 2 and 6 are left. Now, if they would have asked directly what is the opposite of 1, then either the answer will be 6 or the answer can be 2. We can't say. But what they have asked in the question is what will be the sum? What is the sum they have asked? So in that case, you need to make use or you need to check whether these two dices are a standard dice. Whether it is a standard dice. Standard dice means the opposite numbers when you add, the sum should be 7. So if here you can clearly see opposite of 4 is 3. But when you add, you will get 7 as the answer. So I want sum now. I want sum. So what that too opposite of 1. Okay, opposite of 1 I should find out, but I need the sum. Correct? So standard dice means the result should be 7. So what number I should add with 1 so that I can get the sum as 7. If I add 1 with 2, I'll not get 7. But if I add 1 with 6, I'll get 7. So when I add 1 with 6, I'll get sum as 7. Correct? So 1 plus 6 will give you 7 is the answer. So that is the answer. 1 plus 6 I need to do. That will give you 7 as the answer. Okay, so correct answer is 7. Okay. Next one on your screen and your timer starts now. Two different positions of the same dice are shown, the six faces of which are numbered from 1 to 6. Select the number that will be on the face opposite to the one having 4. So opposite of 4 they have asked. So common faces in both the dices are what? 3, correct? 3 is common. So write down here. Then go in the clockwise direction. 3 to 1 you will go. Then from 1 to 2 you will go. Next similarly here 3 to 5 you will go. Then from 5 to 6 you will go. And opposite of 4 they have asked. So opposite of 1 will be 5. Opposite of 2 will be 6. So opposite of 4 will be what? What number is left? 1, 5, 2, 6 is gone. 4 का opposite क्या बचा? 3. Opposite of 4 is 3. Sorry. So D is the correct option. Okay. 13th question on your screen and your timer starts now. Time up. This question also you mark it as important. So what does the 13th question say? Two different positions of the same dice are shown. Select the number that will be on the opposite to the one having 2. If the number on the face opposite to 3 is odd. So you need to find out the opposite of 2. Okay. If the number on the face opposite to 3 is odd. Okay. So which faces are common in both the dices? 1 and 6. Correct? So two faces are common in a dice. So what is the opposite of 5? 5 ka opposite 4. Correct? But we want the opposite for 2. So what numbers are left? 1. So 1 का opposite क्या हो सकता है? 2 हो सकता है या 3 हो सकता है. 6 का opposite भी क्या हो सकता है? 2 या 3 हो सकता है. Correct? So what they have said in the question, we want to find out the opposite of 2. If the number on the face opposite to 3 is odd. This sentence is very important. Opposite to 3 is odd. See, opposite to 3 should be a odd number. Correct? Now, if you consider this, opposite of 3 is 1. 1 is a odd number. Correct? So, opposite of 3 is what? 1. Okay, opposite of 3 is 1 you got. Now what is left? But we want the opposite of 2. The question is, what is the opposite of 2? So what number is left now? 6. So opposite of 2 is 6. So correct option is B option. Now here, if they would have not mentioned in the question and if they directly ask what is the opposite to 2, then it would be what? Opposite of 2 can be 1, either 1, or it can be 6. We can't say. But in the question they have said, the number on the face opposite to 3 is odd. So 3 का opposite कौन सा है? Odd number होना चाहिए. तो 1 is a odd number, 6 is a even number. So 1 so opposite of 3 is 1. So we want opposite of 2. So what is left? 6. So 2 का opposite क्या हो गया? 6. Okay. Mark this as an important question. Note down this. Take a screenshot. Okay. 14th question on your screen with 3 dices on your screen and your timer starts now. Time up. Even if 2 dices come, 3 dices come or 4 dices come, the logic remains the same and they will ask you the opposite only. Okay. Opposite only they will ask. Sometimes in the question, some things they will add or some things they will delete. That's it. So here 3 positions of a cube are below. What will come opposite to the face containing 4? So opposite to the face containing 4 they have said. So 3 cubes are there. See in which 2 cubes you can find the similarity. So if you take 1 and third cube, okay, 1 and third one if you take and ignore the second one, okay, so what is common here? 6 and 3 is common, correct? So what is the opposite to 4 there was? So what figures are left? 4 is left and 1 is left. So 4 का opposite क्या हो गया? 1. So 1 is the option. So you can ignore this cube. Sorry. You can only focus on first and the third cube. So wherever in two cubes you find the similarity, to choose that two cubes and find out the answer. Just ignore the third cube. Okay. 15th question on your screen and your timer starts now. So three different positions of the same dice are shown. Find the number on the face opposite to the face showing 4. So three dices are given to you. So see what in which two dices you can see the common faces. In which two dices you can see. If you see carefully the first and the second dice, okay, ignore this one. Ignore this one. First and two dices if you compare, 1 and 3 are common. 1 and 3 is common. And whatever numbers are left, that becomes the opposite. So 4 and 6 are left. So 4 का opposite क्या हो गया? 6. So what is asked? Opposite to 4 is only asked. So opposite of 4 will be 6. See how simple it is? Okay. 16th question on your screen and your timer starts now. Time up. So what is asked? Opposite to 2 is asked. Correct? So check what is common. In first two figures if you check, okay, 1 and, okay, so 1 and 5 is common, correct? 1 and 5 is common, 1 and 5 is common. So what is left? 4 and 3 are left. So 4 का opposite क्या हो गया? 3 हो गया. Then here we want the opposite of 2, correct? We want the opposite of 2. First two dice if you compare, 1 opposite and 5 opposite. So it can be 2 6 here, 2 6 here. So 2 का opposite यहाँ नहीं बोल सकते. It can be 1 also or it can be 5 also. Correct? So you can't tell from both the dices. Now compare second and third dice. Okay, what is common in second and third dice? 3 and 5 are common. Okay, so first thing what we did, in first thing we compared first and second dices. Okay, now in this we will compare second and third dices. So first we compared first and second dices, but we are not sure what is the opposite of 2, correct? Now we will compare second and third dice. So here what is common? 3 and 5 is common if you see carefully. What is left? 1 and 6 is left. Correct? 1 and 6 is left. So 1 opposite is 6 here. Correct? 3 and 5 we have. So 3 opposite can be what? 2 or 4. Here also 2 or 4. So if you carefully check here, now you have compared 1 and 2 dices and you have compared 2 and 3 dices. Still you are not getting the answer. Now you need to cross check. Okay, now you need to cross check. Please mark this question also as important. Okay, here check the options now. Check the options. Now when you check the options, 3 can't be the answer. Yes, 3 can be answer because here you have correct. 2 का ऑपोजिट 3 भी हो सकता है, 2 का ऑपोजिट 5 भी हो सकता है. यहाँ पे 2 का ऑपोजिट 1 भी हो सकता है, 2 का ऑपोजिट 5 भी हो सकता है. Okay, but from both the comparison, here if you compare this both, okay, finally what we got is that here I will write 4 का opposite 3 है, so 3 is gone. 1 का opposite 6 है, so 1 is gone and 4 is gone. So what is left in the option? 5 is left. So correct answer will be 5. This is how you should solve this. Okay. So 2 का opposite क्या हो गया? 5 हो गया. From eliminating the option, from compare, first what we did here, first we compared first and the second dice. There we did not get the answer. Then we compared second and the third dice. Okay, still we are not getting the answer. But definite opposite pairs you can get and from that you can eliminate the options. Okay. 4 के साथ ऑलरेडी पेयर हो गया 3. ओके सो 3 एलिमिनेट हो गए यहाँ से बिकॉज वी वांट द ऑपोजिट ऑफ 2. 1 के साथ पेयर हो गया 6, so 1 is eliminated and 4 is also eliminated from the option. So what is left? 5 is left. Correct? I hope you understood this. Okay? Please take note down of this or take a screenshot. Okay, students? So here the correct option is 5. Okay? Rest all are eliminated. 17 question on your screen and your timer starts now. Try to solve this. A new question it is. And I think so it has appeared in the question also. Sorry, in the question paper. It has appeared. So this is also an important question. So what does the question says? The 6 faces of a dice have been marked with the letters A to F. If A is adjacent to B, C and E, then which of the following statements is true? Okay, so they have said that A is adjacent to B. A is adjacent to B, not opposite. Sorry, it is adjacent. Okay, A is adjacent to B. C is adjacent to E. So this is all about adjacent now. Adjacent meaning what? Adjacent meaning they are besides, okay, or next to each other. So A का next अगर अभी ये cube है, this is a cube, okay. If A is here, B will be here. This is what adjacent is, okay. Understanding, right? So this is the meaning of adjacent. So which of the following statements are true here? B is adjacent to E? No, because B is already adjacent to A. So this is the wrong. Eliminate the option. Next, A is adjacent to D? No. A is adjacent to F? No. D is adjacent to F? Yes. Because see, A is adjacent to B, they have said already in the question. C is adjacent to E, they have said. So six letters are there: A, B, C, D, E, and F. So already A is adjacent to B. Okay. C is adjacent to E. So what is left? D is adjacent to F is left. So here also they are saying same thing. D is adjacent to F. So D is the correct option. Okay. 18th question on your screen and your timer starts now. Time up. So here they have said what is the opposite to at symbol. As I told you that anything, not only numbers, they can ask for letters or they can ask for symbols, correct? But the logic remains the same. So the face opposite to the one having at they have said. So here what is common? First compare, okay, in the third dice you can eliminate because nothing common is there. Second dice we will, first and second dice will compare. When you compare, you get hash as common. So write down hash here, only one is common. So you need to go in the clockwise direction. From here, you get percent. Then again you go, here you get O. Then hash, at, and you will get here. And from and you will get at. So they have asked what is the opposite of at. So what is the opposite of at? O. Okay, so O is the answer. 19th question on your screen. So here you have four dices and they have said find the opposite to the one having 5. So opposite to 5 you have to find out and your timer starts now. Students, don't get panicked when you see 3 dices or 4 dices. Okay? Nothing, but you need to find out only the common, whichever dices, 2 dices you get common, try to find out, eliminate all other dices. Okay, so here what common you can see? If you take only third and the fourth figure, I'll eliminate this two. First I'll do like this. I'll first compare any 2 dices, rest I will ignore. Okay. So here what common I can see in third dice and the four dice? 5, correct? So 5 is common. I'll write here. Now I have to go in the clockwise direction. From 5 to I'll come to 2. Then from 2 I'll go to 6. Next again from 5 I'll come to 1. Then from 1 I'll go to 3. Correct? So from this what I got? 2 opposite is 1. 6 opposite is 3. So 2 opposite is 1, 6 opposite is 3. So 5 opposite we want. So what number is left? 1, 2, 3, 6 is already taken. So 4 is left. So 5 opposite is 4. So D is the correct option. 4. Okay. So this is how you have to solve. 20th question, the last question of today's class, and your timer starts now. This is a different type of question. Actually, mark this also as important. Try to solve it. Time up. So here the question says two position of a die is given below. What can come on the adjacent faces of the face containing F on it? So here they have not asked for opposite. They have asked for adjacent. And you know what do you mean by adjacent? Correct? 8 का adjacent क्या है? What is the adjacent of 8? N. Example I am giving you. Okay. Adjacent of 7 is L. Adjacent of 7 is F. Okay, like that. Adjacent of 8 is also L. Okay, so these are all adjacent. Okay. So in the question they have asked you adjacent of F, they have asked you. Correct? Adjacent of F they have asked you. So same thing you will do here. Okay, first try to find out the common thing in both the dices. What is common in both the dices? L. L is common, correct? So I will write here L is common in both the dices. Then what next you need to do? You need to go in the clockwise direction, correct? 7. So here you will have 7. Then from 7 you will go to F. Correct? Here from L you will go to first 8 and then from 8 you will come to N. Correct? So from 7 you will go to F here and from in second dice from L you will go to 8 and then you will come to N. Okay? So this you got. Now from this one thing you got. One thing that is what 7 and 8. So what are this? 7, 8. Then you have F, N. Okay, then L and okay. So from this what you got that 7 and 8 are these are what the opposite pairs. And you know that opposite pairs can never be adjacent to each other. So 7 and 8 are there in the option, eliminate it. F is opposite to N. So they are the opposite pairs and they cannot be adjacent to each other. So eliminate C option also. We want adjacent face to the face containing F. We need to find out the adjacent to F. Okay, not opposite. So this two from this two you eliminated the two options. Correct? Then if you see B option also, N and L you have. Correct? They cannot be opposite to F. Sorry, they cannot be adjacent to F. Why? Because opposite to F is already N and they cannot be adjacent to each other. Correct? So you can't have N adjacent to F because they are opposite pairs. So D option is also eliminated. So what is left? Option D is left. That is your answer. Okay. So 8 and L are adjacent faces of F. Okay. Okay, students, this is the homework question for you all. What is the opposite face of red? Two dices are given to you and four options are given to you. This is a very simple question. You can easily solve it. So tell me the answer in the comment section below. Comment section में जरूर बताना आंसर क्या है इसका. Opposite face of red. Okay. Thank you, students. That's it for today. Please do subscribe to my channel, like my channel, and do share my channel. Continuing the cube and dices class, okay, in the second session. So that will be your next class on cube and dice. There will be continuation of cube and dice class. That's it for today. Keep smiling. Have a nice day.